Hey Helldiver, welcome back, and it's your favorite democracy cat, Colonel of the 2nd Liberation Battalion, and today we'll be blasting away fascists, autocrats, and anything with more than 2 legs with the MLS-4X, otherwise known as the Commando. The Commando is the perfect example of being forgotten to time as our loadouts have evolved and we progressed with more and more options to have in our kit. And ever since September 17th with the balance patch of 1.001.1 that lowered its demolition force from 40 to 30, making it not possible to one-shot a fabricator unless shot in the vent, I really feel I rarely see Helldivers bring this rocket at all. Is it horrible? Well, let's check the stats and allow me to convince you why the Commando is actually one of the best anti-tank options in the game. So let's break down the Commando. The Commando is an expendable 4-barrel laser-guided rocket launcher with a cooldown of 120 seconds or 2 minutes. This rocket deceptively has a lot of utility that people overlook because it can't destroy a fabricator in one shot. Sporting 1,100 projectile damage with an additional 150 explosive damage at AP6, you should treat this weapon like an AMR for anti-tank, where it takes a lot of shots to kill things if you aren't aiming for weak points. But if you do aim for those weak points and you are accurate, well, a lot of stuff is going down in one shot. Harvesters in the leg joint, one shot. Hulks in the faceplate or back vent, one shot. Mortars, turrets, cannon emplacements, if you shoot the vents, even the fabricators in the vents, all one shot. The dreaded War Strider, get a missile to hit that leg joint and it's all she wrote for those machines of war. I really have to shout out one of my moderators, Puro, for putting me back onto the gun because I actually used to religiously use the Commando till it was nerfed way back then, but not understanding the actual mechanic place it had in the sandbox unfairly characterized this weapon as just dog water. But then you realize that this weapon relies on your accuracy for it to be effective, and more importantly, accuracy to weak points. That's when this weapon's full potential is realized, which leads me to believe why this weapon is only barely eking out a top 16th placement in support stratagem weapons, only beating out stuff like the spear, flamethrower, or napalm EATs, which was kind of surprising when looking up. I thought it'd be a little bit more popular. However, there is also a surprise feature that a lot of people surprisingly found out recently, which was the whole laser guided missile. So if you aim down sights with the rocket and you paint a target with the laser and then ADS and shoot a missile off, the rocket will immediately guide itself to where you last pointed the laser. Now there is some kind of finickiness with it. You can't really do that with like a moving target like a gunship, so you can't just like paint a gunship in the air and then just like ADS and then shoot it and it's going to shoot the thing down. It's not necessarily how that's going to work. It's more like stationary targets. So if there's like a mortar emplacement at a outpost and you paint the target and then look away and then shoot, it will do a literal U-turn and go straight into the mortar. So just be prepared for that distinction, because I did make myself look kind of dumb trying to think that it was just magically going to track onto the gunship while I just saw my missile shoot off into Narnia. So hopefully I didn't down anybody's destroyer by doing that. If I did, I'll probably get a memo to face the wall here pretty soon. So I'll see you guys later. For automatons, I would look at possibly bringing a 500 kg orbital laser or walking barrage, depending if you really want to send a message to the automatons. With your backpack slot open, you open up for stuff like a supply pack, guard dog, or even a jump pack, which is usually what I'm bringing since I like the movement it affords me. Something that's become a staple of my loadout for a while now, especially ever since the automatons, have that magic ragdoll, and I mean that fucking War Strider. that seed that pops up. Plus, if you manage to get under a factory strider, all 4 missiles will down the beast. It's almost exactly the same loadout for squids. Maybe bring a sentry to help deal with flesh mobs, since I tend to keep my commando as an anti-harvester weapon due to its ability to one-tap the foul beast. Eventually though, when the Leviathans make their return into the war, I probably am going to bring a solo silo to deal with those and replace out the sentry, since something like an adjudicator can handle stingrays, and if you can master your movement, you can easily kind of out juke and wear down those flesh mobs, or just blast it with an ultimatum, since you got that backpack slot open and you can definitely bring a supply pack to fuel your ultimatum, so it's not really all that too inducing. Now, back to the solo silo thing, I just wanted to add real quick is that I haven't tested the solo silo on a Leviathan, as there is no Leviathans currently of the making of this video, which is October 14th in the game. So sadly, I can't say that that's 100% foolproof, but if the solo silo for some reason doesn't work, you always have a gamer chair, or you have your teammates to rely on to help you deal with Leviathans. Bugs are weird, because while it's not killing chargers one shot, you can easily strip the leg armor off with just a single rocket and then just absolutely chunk the main health bar of that nasty fascist with your primary, which is what I tend to do at least. Your favorite assault stratagems you'll likely bring, so for me it's a 500 kg napalm barrage, but sometimes I do bring an orbital rail cannon so I can give myself some breathing room when I'm getting swarmed by heavies and bio titans. Impalers are no problem and no issue really with a commando, whether you get a shot while it's like in transport mode under the tentacle shield, or in its stress vein on its forehead when it's impaling, I guess. Now, when it comes to the Bio Titan, it does 1 to 2 shot in the head. It really depends on your luck and how much damage it's taken previously to maybe another assault stratagem, or you shot an ultimatum at it. It just depends on how much damage has already previously happened to it. Now, I've had moments where the Bio Titan has taken all 4 of my rockets and just doesn't die, but there could be some user error on that one, so just be prepared with Bio Titans when you have your commando that there may be some finesse to it and some user error if you do fuck up and not kill it instantly in the head or take more than 2 shots. At the end of the day, the Commando is going to be a fan favorite amongst divers who have the knowledge of enemy weak points and know how to squeeze every ounce of utility out of a weapon. While it may have a knowledge curve, understanding your 4 rocket tube delivery of democracy device will be up to you in the field. I do think this weapon could benefit from a shorter cooldown, something like 75 to 85 seconds rather than 2 whole minutes. However, you are essentially getting a 4 lower damage projectile EAT, and I could see the argument why it can't be that low of a cooldown, as it would encroach on some of the EAT's spammability, like unique quality. But the Commando is fully capable of keeping up in those Super Helldives on all factions in the right hands. So if you've been wanting to use this weapon but needed just a little push, here's that push. Bring the Commando on your next operation and see how you like it. That's it from me, Helldiver. And if you are looking for a community of like-minded Super Earth patriots, come join the 2nd Liberation Battalion, where we have events, unique rewards, challenges. We also have the most important thing. We like to have fun. Link to the Discord down below. Thank you for your time, be safe, and remember, Helldiver, don't drown.